Some islands can be blissful. Some can be ruined. When I first stepped foot on a tiny island in the Sibuyan Sea, toes on the white sand unblemished by a sense of what this place once was, I knew, somewhere deep inside, that I understood why this island became paradise. The Paradise Lost of Boracay. Boracay, an island on the corner of utopia and decay. A story of overexposure, of excess, of flat-out negligence on a tiny slice of heaven. This is what happens when you care too little about the hand that feeds you, and you become an example on a PowerPoint presented by Al Gore and Leo DiCaprio. This is, however, also a story of an island so beautiful that at its worst was still idyllic. To give you a better idea, this episode was shot in April of 2018, a mere 3 weeks before Boracay was ordered to be shut down for rehabilitation by Filipino President Rodrigo Duterte. Duterte, who famously called the island a cesspool, sealed off the Philippines' most visited island for 6 months to undergo a cleanup of biblical proportions. A shot in the dark in the hopes of restoring the glories of its lesser Trek days. In essence, this is Boracay at its absolute worst, before the doors were shut. Boracay lies roughly an hour 15 from Manila by plane to the Catlacan Airport on the northwest tip of Panay Island. From there, it's a bumpy bus ride through the town of Malay and a subsequent jetty boat to the island itself. Long story short, you gotta hop a bit to get here. Now, the dog-bone-shaped island isn't particularly large, but it's important to know where to stay if you want to be close to the action. The western side and its white beach is undoubtedly the better option, as it's nicer, albeit less peaceful, than the windy beaches on the eastern side. All the debauchery can be found between stations 1 and 3, with 2 being a safe bet for walking convenience. It's also a safe bet to find a nice, cheap, but pretty on-point hotel like the Boracay Haven, and its very clutch and lengthy pool that certainly comes in handy in the scorching Filipino island sun. And if I'm going to do anything in the scorching Southeast Asian sun, it's going to involve dipping my pasty carcass in the ocean and, well, I guess, trying to get less pasty while drinking a shamefully fruity cocktail.
You know, I'm really not the kind of guy that wants to make anyone feel less fortunate or that they're not as blessed. But life sure doesn't suck right now. This watermelon caipirinha is for all those watching who can't be here, but are truly inspired.
I'm trying my best to not rub this in, but clearly, I fail miserably.
Ah yes, the difficult life of being inspirational. To you.
Admittedly, it's kind of hard to do anything when you're on an island where you're meant to do nothing. Embracing my decreased heart rate in an invigorating pool seems to be the rather logical choice for, basically, the whole day. I know the island is seemingly rotting away according to everyone, but I somehow remain oblivious. Alas, I decide to venture out a bit and feel some semblance of productivity. To clarify, out of many problems Boracay had, such as illegal structures and endless code violations from businesses, perhaps the biggest one was sanitation. Specifically, a rapidly deteriorating sewage grid that couldn't sustain the herd of visitors it attracted. How bad was it? It was believed to be roughly 85% of the properties on the island that weren't properly discharging their waste, leading many to believe that it was being spewed directly into the ocean. Wonderful. A 20-minute trike ride from Station 2 is a special little place. Now, to be fair, there's quite a few beaches on Boracay that'll make you forget that crappy excuse for sand and water you went to last summer. And that includes Pucachel, Punta Bunga, Ligan, and so forth. But Diniweed is easily accessible and just hits the spot. A beach where delectable cocktails can be enjoyed on brightly colored beanie bags, shaded by funky umbrellas within a foot of the water, is a place that earns a place in my memories. It is an uncorrupted operation such as Wahine Grill that allows you to pursue the deeper meanings of life. Seek answers to those burning questions, all the while dropping a few heartbeats per minute.
So, I have a burning question. Is there such thing as too much chilling? Like, when you come to an island like Boracay, you just chill. You just coast through it. You know, you get yourself a drink, this lychee shake thingamajigger, and you just relax. Now, is too much chilling a bad thing? When does too much chilling become boring?
Yes. The thoughts I tend to ponder over because my mind can't really understand how this place existed for so many years, and I'm just now on its shores. What was I doing that whole time? Why are you, yourself, not here now? All good things must come to an end. This is the part I regrettably have to break to you, that the party island I shot in April is no longer the island you can see now. When walking the tightrope between preservation and overregulation, the new Boracay tells us in the words of Tyler Durden, if you want to make an omelet, you gotta break some eggs. No more beach chairs, umbrellas, pets, grilling meat, smoking, or dining within 30 feet of the water. Most importantly, however, no more drinking and partying on the beach. Period. The days of reckless partying and uninhibited debauchery are now the Boracay of yesteryear. There are still, however, some things worth doing that don't involve doing keg stands on the beach. There's D-Mall, an assortment of shops and many places to have some good lechon, which, by the way, Filipino lechon is the best in the world. Sorry, Cuba. You could always check out a live performance from a cover band because, in case you didn't know, Filipinos take music extremely seriously. Odds are, if you've ever been on a cruise or a foreign establishment that featured a cover band, that kick-ass band was probably from the Philippines. You can also catch a local power outage caused by the severe infrastructure problems due to an overcapacitated island. Something I nonetheless found oddly charming and perhaps no longer an issue in the rebrand. One thing is for sure, however, New Boracay, for better or worse, isn't this endearingly unbridled anymore.
Alright. Oh yeah. Alright.
I'm under the firm belief that Filipino cuisine is one of, if not the most, underrated Asian cuisine. If you're a normal human and appreciate the glorious pig, then crispy pata is exactly what your taste buds ordered.
That's stupid.
Basically, pork leg or knuckle, boiled till tender, and deep fried to crunchy perfection. What else could you want?
The sinful taste of pork.
You can't miss what you never had. I guess one's perception, the little intricate moments that stay stamped in your memory of a given place, are subjective and otherwise self-serving. The Boracay I got to know was starkly different than the tarnished cesspool others seemed to think it had become. If this was ruined, if the joy I felt on the island was over a corrupted shadow of what it once was, then perhaps I prefer the Boracay of old. For on a Southeast Asian island, it's the ability to be as docile or as wild as you'd like that I hold dearest. The freedom to express perhaps your worst sins alongside a mix of locals and other travelers being equally as respectfully buffoonish as you. On a cleaner, more regulated Boracay 2.0, one can only hope that that unbound spirit still flows vigorously throughout the island. An island under a new and brighter sun.